Welcome back, my friends. My name is Frank. In this video, I have a question for you. If you're a reader of novels and books, I'm just curious, do you prefer a large book, like, I don't know, Harry Potter books that are 350 to 400 pages long? Or would you prefer a big book like that be chopped up into little pieces, and each book is kind of like a novella with only, let's say, 150 to 200 pages long. Now, obviously, most of us know there's a series of books called the Harry Potter books. And each one of those books have a lot of pages. I think Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince has like 700 pages. I have that one at home. That's a mighty big book. But what you might not have known is, back in the 90s, Stephen King put out a series of books called The Green Mile. That's right. The movie The Green Mile was originally 6 small books. Now, they've since turned it into one big book, but originally it was 6 small books. Now, the whole reason I bring this up, because the other day I was telling my wife, she goes through a lot of my books before I send it off to the editor. I was telling her, hey, my wrestling book is almost done. It's like 310 pages, over 50,000 words, something like that. And then she asked me, are you ever going to write something smaller, like, I don't know, 150, 200 pages? And that gave me an idea. You see, in this wrestling book, the wrestler goes through sort of 3 different changes. You see, like a lot of wrestlers, not every one of them, but a lot of wrestlers, they go through an identity change, a rebranding of sorts. Yeah, I think this one right here is probably the most famous, from blonde to dark. And that dark image of hers is fantastic, and people love that of her. Well, in my book, which is currently around 308 to 310 pages, Olivia sort of has 3 different identities. She's always Olivia, just like Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, just like Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. He's always Harry Potter. Well, in my book, she's always Olivia. She is Olivia the Mighty Kraken by the end. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe changing it. She's Olivia the blah, blah, blah at the beginning, and make that book around 200 pages, a smaller book. In the center, she's Olivia blah, 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 and make that the center story. And by the end, she's Olivia the Mighty Kraken. She's always Olivia. She's always a wrestler. It's just she has different identities, and the one she sticks on is the one at the end. Now, the only problem with me doing this is, one, I'll have to have an artist make 3 different covers for 3 different books. That'll cost me more money. But if I do this, if I change this story, which is currently around 300 pages, over 50,000 words, if I do this and break it up into 3 different small stories, I'll have to add a lot more detail to the very beginning, which means that's the first story. That first story will be delayed a little bit. Again, if I do this. And the only other reason I was thinking of doing this is because my last book that I wrote and published was The Taming of April. It is 350 pages long. It's a pretty big book. Now, I do sell for around $15. But again, 350 pages is a lot of pages. So again, I pass this question on to you. Do you think it's a good idea to break up my wrestling story into 3 different small stories? All the same person, generally doing the same thing. She's a wrestler, but it's in 3 different parts. And each book would be around 200 to maybe 225 pages long. Do you think this kind of book or books is marketable? And if you're into wrestling, would you buy a book like this that's in 3 different small parts? Now, I will admit that a smaller book with only, let's say, 200 pages is a lot easier to digest and read in one setting than a 350-page book about a wrestler. Anyway, comment below the video and let me know, because I would love to hear from you. Do you think I should break up my wrestling book into 3 smaller stories? I hope to hear from you, and thanks for watching.